This is Minecraft, a blocky and square shaped, while this is LEGO Minecraft. Welcome to Brickscraft. Brickscraft is a resource pack which changes the entirety of Minecraft into the Swedish block we all know and love, ranging from the tools to the blocks to the mobs. What makes Brickscraft so much better than other LEGO Minecraft resource pack is how high quality it is compared to the rest, especially with shaders, but you're gonna understand why is that soon. I mean, look at this! It feels like a whole Blender rendition, and this is inside of Minecraft, and it feels so unreal. But the question is who made this pack? Say hello to Alex TESTRIA, the person behind and responsible behind Brickscraft. But Alex isn't your typical creator, and for that matter, I think I'll let him explain.
Well, hello, my name is Alex TESTRIA. I'm a Minecraft resource pack artist, and I'm the creator of the Brickcraft Lego-like brick resource pack out there. Yeah, I'm doing that in my free time. It's pretty much become my full-time job now, and while I'm doing that, I'm fighting cancer.
As said during the interview, Alex is unfortunately diagnosed with terminal cancer. More specifically, rhabdomyosarcoma, a cancer which aggressively affects the entire lower half of Alex's body. And he's been doing his best to fight it off, but despite his limitation, it's been no prevail. Even though he's in this horrible position, he managed to create something amazing. So today, I'll be doing a deep dive into Brickscraft to understand what exactly makes it special and why it's so good, why Alex charges us for it, and Alex's history on creating packs like these. And also, when it comes to the full interview, it will be uploaded sometime next week, so make sure you have notifications for my channel and subscribe if you want to be able to listen to it. Why is Brickscraft so special? Well, it's one of the very few resource packs which have 3D rendered blocks over PNG model, and then you will see this in every block that is available in the world. And I know this is crazy, and you're about to find this next sentence crazy. All the models and blocks are made in Paint.net and PowerPoint. This isn't a joke. Alex is a mad lad for doing this, and I asked him about it, and his answer was very straightforward on why he does it.
Workflow, simply. I'm self-taught 100%. Never were anybody in my life who taught me anything in computer graphics or something like that. So I didn't really never learn those professional tools like PowerPoint, Illustrator. Brickcraft is one of the resource packs, very, very few resource packs out there who are reliable or relying entirely on 3D models. Normally a resource pack is just changing textures and a few 3D models maybe, but Brickcraft is changing every block into a custom made 3D model that has to adapt into every scenario where it's placed at. For example, if you place a stone in the middle of the underground and you can't see it when you're standing on top of the world, you have to think that those faces on the block and that cube and that part of the 3D model shouldn't be rendered, so level of detail and blah blah blah. There's so much stuff to think about when you do these models. That's what really is what makes Brickcraft special. I think that's the reason why there is no other resource pack that looks exactly like Brickcraft.
Like Alex said, it all comes down to workflow, which is important to getting the job done, which Alex has proved to do well. We also need to talk about the time and effort it takes to make a model like this. With Alex using PowerPoint and Paint.net, it takes some time, so I asked him about it and learned that Alex spent hours making a block. Let's take a look at the Observer. It's probably Alex's most advanced model to date. I asked him about it, and he said it took him a total of 2 whole days working on it, which is insane. That helps lead me into another point. Since Alex spends so much time working on blocks, there's a reason why he charges people to use his pack, especially because he can't afford doing a 9-to-5 with his condition, and he needs to help him with medicine, rent, and to help his fiance.
The Patreon is an absolute lifesaver. It's the best decision I ever made opening that Patreon. It brought me so much closer with my community. Like, you can, if you listen to this and you want to become a patron, you can talk with me anytime. I mean, you can talk with me anytime if you're not a patron either. It's okay. I'm answering to almost everything because I have a lot of free time. No, but I mean, I can't do a 40 hours a week job or anything like that. Of course, I'm way too sick for that. And I mean, healthcare in Germany is sort of free because it's run by the state. But there's still some costs attached to it, and my father passed away actually 4 years ago to cancer too. And so my family aren't in the best absolute best financial situation, and my Patreon has allowed me to really, like, they covered my financial back. They got all of the anxiety I got from, oh, I hope we have enough money. That all went away with Patreon. Everything. It was such a relief that I didn't have to think about money, and that I really have to work even though I can't.
And Alex understands that research packs shouldn't be charged, but in the case of his, he can't do a 9 to 5, so it makes sense why he's charging for them. And on top of that, with every block being 3D rendered, taking days to put into, he's putting in a lot more effort than most people. He's not just putting in high quality effort, he's making them accurate to the actual Lego block. And also the packs are very cheap, ranging from like $5 a month to as high as $17 a month. So for the quality you're getting, it is totally acceptable. And after 3 months, you get to own the pack without having to pay a subscription. Not only he doesn't use PowerPoint and Paint.net, he also uses Blockbench to help with some of the models. How is he so good at what he does? Well, this is because this isn't his first project. His first project was a remake from Control from Remedy Entertainment. And my gosh, it looks incredible. When you take the time to work on something, you can completely change how Minecraft looked to a point that Minecraft doesn't feel like Minecraft anymore. With how much models and blocks were just changed, and the fact he has a lot of coding knowledge, it feels surreal. This is how Minecraft looks.
For the viewers, you don't know what that is. I had a project before Brickcraft, which was remaking the game Control by Remedy Entertainment in Minecraft 1:1 scale. With custom 3D models, data packs, code, and etc. So the entire game cloned into Minecraft. It was really, 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 really detailed. I spent 1.5 years on that project of mine, and sadly it didn't come to fruition because people didn't recognize it was Minecraft. That's the biggest issue with the project. They couldn't tell anymore that it's Minecraft. That was a huge learning curve, which eventually allowed me to make Brickcraft, because all that what I've learned on making 3D models using those thousands of little workarounds that work in Minecraft for problems that had to be digested, because I mean, Minecraft is a limited game. You can't do everything. I mean, you can really do so much, but not quite everything. And finding those workarounds with Control helped me later make Brickcraft. Without it, it wouldn't be possible.
Now we understand how Brickscraft came to be, we need to truly look into the mod and see why it's amazing. First things first, let's add some shaders. If you have the Premium or Extreme Edition, the recommended shaders is Lux for 1.21 or Kappa for 1.20 or lower. And to get the perfect shader settings, Alex has linked in his website what you need to change to make it look good. And once you apply all these settings, you can see how beautiful it looks. As you enter the world, you can tell right off the bat the beauty of the world, with even the most basic of blocks, such as the grass block, looking incredible. When you put the classic block and the Lego brick right next to each other, you can see how much of a graphical update is between the two. Even as something as simple as corners, you can see how the light reflects off it. And with most of the Lego bricks, you can see how there's a hole under it where you can connect other bricks together, and it's just so cool, and I love it. Also, please note that not every block is modeled yet to the game. Primarily with there being over 1,000 blocks plus frequent updates, there's going to be some blocks that are not updated yet. Unfortunately, such as Skulk or some of the new copper blocks. And also, please know that Alex is a one-man army when it comes to making some of his models. Speaking of those models, let's look at some of them. I asked many of my friends to pick some blocks for us to review, and in front of us are 25 blocks I'm going to quickly examine, with some of them being from the most basic block, like the grass block. When you look at the grass block, you can see how the light reflects off it, and you can see the thin lines separating the dirt and the grass. And a neat detail is that every block has the tip at the top, and there's a hole at the bottom, like the actual blocks themselves. With a bit more advanced blocks, the wood blocks even have more details on the side with slight curves. The more detailed blocks, such as the wax exposed copper stairs, you can see how much the color is evenly spaced out to show its oxidized form and its getting oxidized form. Even with netherrack and soul sand, you can see how the bricks are small 2x1 bricks. And on top of that, the fire itself is heavenly and beautifully animated with a 2x1 brick motion, with different colors depending if it's netherrack or if it's soul sand. The animation itself is beautiful as you let a forest burn down, and it just feels nice. Pumpkins are unique, with having one round plate at the top, as the pumpkin itself just looks bricky. Now, for torches. All the torches have a common theme with having a wooden stick and different color tip with red, blue, yellow for soul, redstone, and a normal torch. Even though the particles are a bit off-centered, it is accurate to the Minecraft Lego block. Amethyst blocks sadly aren't textured, but the clusters themselves are with 4 different levels of growth, especially with some plants. Example of the plants would be 4 levels of growth for the carrot, the potato, wheat, or beetroot. And a special example would be the coarse fruit, where the fruit looking clean with 2 round plates and 1 plate going up. Now, let's talk about upgrades when it comes to blocks, and that would be the door. The Minecraft Lego door looks terrible, so what Alex did was make the effort to actually make it a very accurate block. And this goes with the cake and the bed, making the cake squared and making the bed not too big.
That's what I'm striving really the most for with Brickcraft is realism and detailism. You will notice if you buy Brickcraft or play the demo that it's not 100% perfect, accurate, the Lego sets. There are some differences. For example, a block is 6 plates tall, not 5. So I wanted to have some distinct. I mean, I didn't want to be copying Lego perfectly.
You didn't want Lego to be at your door, yeah.
I don't want to be at my door and ruin my entire life with some crazy costs in court. So there are some differences, and these differences make it better. Trust me. For example,
absolutely.
I fixed the cake to be not round. Instead, it is.
Thank you.
It has corners.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
And beds are not 3 blocks wide. I couldn't do that. No thanks.
But thank you. No, the cake, I did not like how the cake was grounded. It needed to be more square. Now, let's take a look at some function blocks. Function blocks is just things you can interact with. Most of them are pretty standard, but I want to take a look at a few of them, such as the brewing stand. The brewing stand is really well modeled with a circle brick at the bottom with a rod and small 1x1 bricks, and when you put a potion bottle in it, you can clearly see the bottles around the brewing stand. The jukebox is a personal favorite of mine, because when you put a disc inside, you can see how big the music disc is. The lightning rod is the same textures as the torches, and you can see it spark. The anvil is a nice example, because normally, when you use the anvil more and more, it tends to get damaged. But in this case, instead of there being cracks, you can see how there's less bricks on the anvil the more you use it. A personal favorite of mine is the rails, because the rails are not exactly brick. They have a bit of a curve to them, making them one of the more unique blocks in the entire game. And if you have a redstone torch and a power rail, you can see how the rails underneath is powered. Speaking of rails, let's talk about minecarts. Minecarts has also been changed. Even though not as noticeable, you can see it's been changed slightly altered to fit the rails. Same with the boat. It's very subtle, but noticeable changes. And if you probably haven't figured it out by now, Alex really cares about details. If you have shaders on and you look at the trees, you can see how all the trees are animated to a wavy feel like they would without shaders. For example, the oak, the birch, the spruce, and especially the cherry blossom trees all have a unique wave to them, and it just looks so beautiful as you walk through the entire world. Now, let's take a look at portals since we're on the topic of details. If you look at another portal, you can see how well modeled the blocks are, especially with the portal itself having a glass pane feel to it. And once you enter the nether, oh, it just looks nice and amazing with everything looking like Lego bricks. When it comes to the end portal, it looks cool, but the end itself looks even better. The end, even though not as noticeable, you can see the obsidian pillars and the end stone are well modeled, including the end crystal. And I will be talking about the Ender Dragon very soon. To return back to the overworld, let's talk about the water and the lava. Sadly, they are not textured and they're part of the shader pack, but it would be very cool if the water had the little bricks on top, so it just looks like it is water. And as you travel throughout the world, you can embrace how nice everything feels. Let's talk about something I wanted to talk about, and that is sound. With massive help from Blocker Locker, he made the sounds of stepping on grass, stepping on sand, stepping on stone, receiving fall damage or getting hurt. So, not only do we have the inclusion of the blocks being modeled and the sound sounding nice, we need to talk about 2 more important things. And this one's my favorite part, and it's the mobs themselves. Almost every mob has been fully modeled out with the help from Blockbuster, and it's very identical to their Lego counterparts, such as the pigs, cows, chicken, foxes and llamas. Even the villagers and iron golems have cool walking animations, and the hostile mobs look amazing. For example, the zombie creepers feel so cool and very accurate to their Lego parts. Skeletons and wither skeletons feel amazing from top to bottom, including their bow, which I will discuss soon. And not only that, Alex took time out of his day to model all 3 boss mobs, such as the Ender Dragon, the Warden, and the Wither. And they are all blocky and looks amazing, with my personal favorite being the Warden with his glowing features and ears. As of right now, there is a few mobs that are not modeled yet. That goes for the Sniffer, the Breeze, and anything 1.21 plus more. Eventually, I think they might be. Now, we need to talk about the final part of this list, and that's the items. A good majority of the items have been modeled, such as the weapons and armor, and it gives them their Lego counterpart feel. Even some unique ones, such as shears, books, or cookies and bread are also modeled. But my personal favorite is the buckets. All the buckets are 3D rendered, and you can see the difference of fishes inside the bucket, including the axolotl, but the lava and water ones look the best. Speaking of looking of things, let's talk about GUI. Almost every GUI has been updated to fill Brickscraft, and on top of that, it even has now sound effects and fonts. Now, for my final and favorite addition, and that's minifigures. Thanks to Fishy Salmon 02, the person who made the minifigures, you can now turn everyone, including yourself, as these brick characters, and it's a resource pack. Sadly, it won't look good if you wear armor because of how big they are, but you can now walk around as giant brick people. But what, do you want Brickscraft to feel more cooler? Well, we have support thanks to physics mod and fresh animations, and I asked Alex about that.
I have support for physics mod, so you can use that, and so the characters break and stuff. And you can actually use fresh animations with it as well. So you have the best Minecraft animations with Lego looking like entities.
Brickscraft is a great example of quality and accuracy over quantity. Packs like Brickso, which is good, makes everything too fancy and doesn't feel like Lego. Despite Alex's condition, he made Brickscraft one of the most incredible resource packs I have ever seen. And if you want to go help him, please go sub to his Patreon and support Brickscraft. And in sometime in December, I'll be doing a charity event to help raise money for Alex and a charity of our choosing. And right now, I have a 25% discount code for the Patreon, which I will reveal if we hit the goals for the charity. So please get ready for December when I do that. But until then, everybody, I've been your host of Bush and Bush, and cancer sucks and it can just disappear from the world because I hate cancer.